Kurt Cobain created Nirvana and, more importantly, grunge, both as a genre and as fashion. Founded in 1987 with lead singer and guitarist Kurt Cobain and bassist Chris Novoselic, going through many drummers, Chad Channing being the most notable, later being replaced by Dave Grohl in 1990. Cobain's lyrics were angsty and anti-establishment with themes of social alienation, abjection, and abandonment. His sound was characterized as mainly punk with a fusion of pop tunes and noise. Cobain was born in Aberdeen, Washington, with a relatively normal childhood until his parents' divorce at age 9, becoming withdrawn and defiant. He lived with his father and stepfamily until his teenage rebellion. Being placed in the care of family and friends, he moved back in with his mother in his second year of high school. Growing up, Cobain listened to and was inspired by the Beatles, Electric Lights Orchestra, and Terry Jacks. Later being introduced to and being influenced by Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, Black Sabbath, and Sex Pistols. Joining together with Chris Novoselic and Chad Channing, they created Bleach, the debut album of Nirvana. In April 1990, with tension in the band, Chad Channing left. In September 1990, Buzz Osborne from the Melvins introduced Cobain and Novoselic to Dave Grohl. Nirvana signed with DGC Records and began work on their next album Nevermind, hoping to sell 250,000 copies and gaining momentum due to Smells Like Teen Spirit. All their Europe shows were dangerously oversold. The Smells Like Teen Spirit music video was played on MTV constantly, and by Christmas 1991 Nevermind sold 400,000 copies a week. In 1992, Nevermind displaced Michael Jackson's Dangerous on the Billboard's Nirvana. Also released Incesticide in December. Incesticide was a compilation album of outtakes, cover versions, non-album singles, and demos. Cobain called to reorganize the songwriting royalties, the disagreements almost breaking up the band, leaving tension about the situation afterwards. Nirvana popularized grunge and created the sound from punk rock and heavy metal, with Cobain crediting Jonathan Poneman as the creator in an interview. Grunge was named this because of the cost to clean up recordings and of descriptions of the music from Bruce Pavitt. The fashion was typically second-hand outdoor clothing or ripped jeans, band t-shirts, Doc Martens, and with unkempt appearances and long hair. They added pop elements and changed it from just punk and heavy metal to something exciting, changing music from completely separate, different genres and molding them into brand new melodies. Many artists have found inspiration from Nirvana, Kid Cudi, Weezer, Lana Del Rey, Willow Smith, Post Malone, and many others. On April 8, 1994, Cobain was found dead in his Lake Washington Boulevard home due to suicide by shotgun. He was found by an electrician who arrived to install a security system. The coroner's report determined that he died April 5, 1994. A memorial was held for Cobain at a park at the Seattle Center. His wife, Courtney Love, pre-recorded a reading of his suicide note. Messages from Novoselic were also played. The viewing drew in 7,000 mourners. After his death, people reevaluated his work, and music journalists sighing in collective relief with him unable to sully his reputation anymore. People felt more connected to Cobain as a real person and not the perception of who he was. In 2014, Nirvana was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and at the ceremony they performed a 4-song set. Cobain created grunge with his anti-establishment themes and lyrics, his influence creating a new genre and multiple subgenres. Nirvana was honest, and they kept their music weird, even when they became popular. They didn't destroy the underground music scene, they gave it the exposure it deserved.